What if you woke up one morning and suddenly realized that something you had worried about for decades simply didn't matter anymore? Not because you stopped caring about life, but because you finally learned the difference between what is truly important and what only feels important. For many people, that realization doesn't come at 30 or 40. It doesn't even come at 50 or 60. It often arrives after 70, and when it does, it can feel almost strange. The things that once kept you awake at night don't seem so powerful anymore. Other people's opinions become quieter. Old arguments lose their importance. The desire to prove yourself begins to disappear, and something else takes its place: peace. Because growing older isn't only about losing strength, speed, or certain abilities. It can also mean gaining something incredibly valuable: perspective. You begin to see life differently. You realize that some of the things you spent decades chasing were never worth the energy they demanded. And today, we're going to talk about 7 things that often lose their power after 70, and why letting them go may be one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Now, let's begin. Number 1, the need to impress everyone. For much of our lives, we're taught to care about how we look in other people's eyes. We want to appear successful, smart, strong, and accomplished. We worry about our clothes, our homes, our careers, our achievements, and even the choices we make. Before making a decision, we may secretly ask, what will people think? But something changes with age. You start realizing that most people were never watching you as closely as you imagined. They were busy worrying about their own lives, and even if someone judged you, their opinion didn't determine your happiness. So eventually, the question changes. Instead of asking, will they approve of me? You start asking, does this make me happy? That is a powerful shift, because freedom begins when you stop living your life for an imaginary audience. Number 2, the need to always be right. Think about how many arguments you've had in your lifetime. Some probably lasted minutes. Others may have lasted years. Maybe there were disagreements with your spouse, siblings, friends, coworkers, or even your children. And at the time, being right felt incredibly important. You wanted the other person to admit, you were right. But here's what experience teaches you. Winning an argument doesn't always mean winning in life. Sometimes you win the argument and lose the relationship. Sometimes you prove your point and create distance. After 70, many people begin to understand something younger versions of themselves couldn't. Peace is often more valuable than being right. You don't have to correct every mistake. You don't have to answer every insult. You don't have to have the final word. Sometimes silence isn't weakness. Sometimes silence is wisdom. Number 3, regret about the past. This one can be difficult because almost everyone carries something. A decision you wish you had made differently. Someone you wish you had called. A relationship you wish you had saved. A dream you never pursued. Words you wish you could take back. And sometimes the mind returns to those moments again and again. What if I had done this? What if I had chosen differently? But eventually, you learn a painful yet freeing truth. The past doesn't need another version of you. You cannot go back. You cannot rewrite the conversation. You cannot undo the mistake, but you can change what that memory means to you today. Every mistake taught you something. Every difficult season changed you. Every wrong turn became part of the person you eventually became. Your life was never supposed to be perfect. It was supposed to be yours. And perhaps the goal isn't to erase your regrets. Perhaps it's to stop allowing them to steal the years you still have. Number 4, keeping up appearances. For years, many people spend enormous amounts of energy trying to look successful. The perfect house, the perfect car, the perfect clothes, the perfect lifestyle. But eventually, the illusion becomes exhausting. And after 70, priorities often become much simpler. A comfortable chair can matter more than an expensive sofa. A peaceful morning can matter more than an impressive vacation. A meaningful conversation can matter more than something expensive sitting in your driveway. You begin to understand that comfort isn't laziness, simplicity isn't failure, and you don't need to look successful to have lived a successful life. True confidence becomes quieter with age. You don't need to announce it. You simply feel it. Number 5. Trying to please everyone. Here's a lesson that can take decades to learn. You cannot make everyone happy. No matter how kind you are, someone may misunderstand you. No matter how generous you are, someone may expect more. No matter how carefully you choose your words, someone may still become offended. And for years, you may respond by trying even harder. You say yes when you want to say no. You hide your feelings. You avoid difficult conversations. You put everyone else's needs ahead of your own. But eventually, you realize something. Your peace cannot depend on everybody else's approval. So you begin creating boundaries. You learn to say, I can't do that. That doesn't work for me. I need some time for myself. And you discover that saying no isn't necessarily selfish. Sometimes saying no is how you protect the life you've worked so hard to build. Number 6, the fear of being alone. Many people spend their entire lives trying to avoid being alone. They keep the television running. They fill every weekend with plans. They constantly need someone around because silence can feel uncomfortable. But as you grow older, something surprising can happen. You may begin to enjoy your own company. You sit quietly with your coffee. You take a walk. You read. You listen to music. You watch the sunset. And suddenly, being alone doesn't feel empty. It feels peaceful. That's because loneliness and solitude are not the same thing. Loneliness says, something is missing. Solitude can say, nothing is missing right now. You can love your family. You can cherish your friends. You can enjoy being around people and still appreciate the quiet moments when you're completely comfortable with yourself. That isn't isolation. That's self-acceptance. Number 7, holding on to old grudges. And perhaps this is one of the heaviest things people carry. An old betrayal, a family argument, a friendship that ended badly, something someone said years ago, something someone did that you never forgot. For years, you may replay it. You remember exactly what happened, exactly what they said, exactly how you felt. But here's the difficult question. How much of your present life is being stolen by something that happened in your past? The person who hurt you may have moved on. They may not even think about it anymore, but you're still carrying the weight. And eventually, you may realize that holding a grudge doesn't punish the past. It only exhausts the present. Forgiveness doesn't mean what happened was acceptable. It doesn't mean you have to trust someone again. It doesn't mean you have to invite them back into your life. Sometimes forgiveness simply means, I'm no longer willing to carry this. And when you put that weight down, something inside you changes. You breathe differently. You sleep differently. You live differently. Because you finally understand that your remaining years are too valuable to spend carrying yesterday. Here's what nobody tells you about getting older. Life doesn't necessarily become smaller. In many ways, it becomes clearer. You begin to recognize what deserves your attention and what doesn't. You stop chasing every opportunity. You stop explaining yourself to everyone. You stop arguing with people who don't want to understand. You stop pretending to enjoy things that no longer bring you happiness. And you start protecting something much more valuable, your peace. Maybe that's one of the greatest advantages of growing older. You finally realize that not everything deserves a reaction. Not every opinion deserves an explanation. Not every relationship deserves access to you. Not every mistake deserves lifelong punishment. And not every problem deserves to come with you into tomorrow. So if you're over 70 or approaching that chapter of life, remember this. You don't have to carry everything you've collected along the way. You are allowed to let go. Let go of the need to impress. Let go of the need to always be right. Let go of regret. Let go of appearances. Let go of people-pleasing. Let go of the fear of solitude. And when you're ready, let go of old grudges. Because sometimes the most beautiful part of growing older isn't discovering something new. It's finally realizing what you never needed to carry in the first place. And perhaps that's what true freedom looks like. Not having more, but needing less. Not proving more, but worrying less. Not holding tighter, but finally knowing when to let go. So let me ask you something. What is one thing you stopped worrying about as you got older? Share it in the comments. Your answer might be the exact piece of wisdom another person needs to hear today. And if this message spoke to you, share it with someone you love. Because sometimes the greatest gift we can give another person isn't advice. It's simply reminding them that you don't have to carry everything anymore. Sometimes the strongest step forward is simply letting go.